The 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be a celebration, but it turned into a massive scandal involving an account named AGThigh77, allegedly tied to Kevin Durant. Screenshots leaked showing brutal takedowns of his own squad, and just hours later, cameras caught KD frantically scrolling on his phone while sitting courtside. Fans are torn between roasting him and panicking about the team's future. But the real mystery is simple. Is this actually Durant's secret profile? And if so, does this mean the locker room is completely fractured? Before we dive deep into the evidence, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more NBA drama. Here is the truth behind the leak. The headlines ask, what went down with KD once the burner account was exposed? It all kicked off on February 15th, 2026 in San Fran, Francisco. The league was in party mode for All-Star festivities, with the biggest icons in the sport gathering for the annual showcase. Suddenly, the vibe shifted as damaging screenshots began flooding the timeline. These leaks from group chats involving the mysterious handle AGThigh77 started trending around February 15th and 16th, right in the middle of the action. Internet sleuths found the account had been active since 2021. The smoking gun? An owl-themed header image. Detectives matched that exact owl to a GIF Durant had tweeted from his verified KD Trey 5 account years ago. That single digital footprint, a random owl picture, linked an anonymous troll account to one of the greatest scorers in basketball history, sparking a wildfire. The leaked images revealed chats from casual conversations where the user didn't hold back. This wasn't just trash talk, it was detailed criticism of on-court skills, team, chemistry, and specific players. The initial wave focused on group chat logs, but that was just the appetizer. Soon, lengthy threads and screen recordings surfaced, turning a small rumor into the main event of the weekend. By February 16th, the floodgates opened. We saw full conversations referencing specific plays and internal team drama. All of this unfolded while Durant was physically in San Francisco for his 16th All-Star appearance. Then came the video evidence. Cameras zoomed in on Durant during warm-ups and events, showing him obsessively checking his phone. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. Those viral clips of KD staring at his screen courtside were seen by millions as live footage of a man trying to manage a crisis. Social media had a field day. Captions like, "Kevin Durant can't stay off Twitter after getting caught," started trending. People were joking that he was in panic mode, trying to scrub his digital footprint. The KD files became the hottest topic online. The consensus was brutal. Who would have guessed KD refuses to take accountability and instead blames every teammate he's ever played with? That sentiment took over the internet immediately. The narrative became about zero accountability and finger pointing. That was the takeaway. But the actual content of the messages is what transformed this from a whisper into a full-blown media storm that overshadowed the actual basketball games. Within hours of the story, blowing up. The AGThigh77 profile went private. This happened the second the screenshots hit the mainstream sports news cycle. He didn't delete the account. He didn't post a defense. He just locked it down, which to the millions of fans watching live looked like an admission of guilt. That defensive move only poured gasoline on the fire. Reddit communities like Out of the Loop posted massive threads archiving every single receipt. YouTube channels uploaded deep dives titled "The Truth About the KD Burner Scandal." Instagram and TikTok creators broke down every single insult. These clips racked up millions of views in less than 48 hours. If you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to hit subscribe. Now, let's look at what was actually said regarding his current Houston Rockets teammate, Jabari Smith Jr. The account allegedly stated, "I can't trust Jabari to make a shot or get a stop." The user called him low-key and claimed Jabari is seriously in his head and lacks mental toughness. He also went after Alperen Sengun, the Rockets' young center and 2026 All-Star, saying, "Your franchise player can't shoot or defend." The text complained about the coach calling plays for Alpi, leading to turnovers. It mocked the idea that these guys are the future. That is what the leaks claim. We don't know for sure if Kevin Durant typed those words, but the message was clear. Jabari can't guard, can't score, and has an inflated ego. It paints a toxic picture of the locker room, and it gets even messier because the criticism didn't stop with the current roster. The user then typed, "People want to talk about my turnovers, but their franchise player is a liability on both ends." He wasn't holding back. The use of first-person language, like my turnovers and my team, is what convinced the public that this was Durant speaking. It was personal. It referenced specific game situations that only a player on the floor would describe that way. On X, post declaring, "The KD files just leaked," and calling the burner account unhinged generated thousands of likes and retweets, complete with side-by-side comparisons and furious fan reactions. And remember, that was only day one. The drama went deeper than just the Rockets. The leaked screenshots didn't limit the trash talk to his current squad. The most explosive content targeted a laundry list of former teammates and coaches, dragging names from every stop in Durant's career. From his explosive rise in Oklahoma City to the golden years in the Bay, the drama in Brooklyn, the stint in Phoenix, and now Houston, Kevin Durant is no stranger to headlines. But this latest leak, it is scorching hot. Regarding Devin Booker, his running mate in Phoenix, the alleged burner account posted, "The Suns are my squad when we take the L, but it is Book's team when we catch a dub." That single sentence hits different. It exposes the raw nerve of a superstar who felt like the scapegoat when things went south, yet invisible when the confetti fell. And the rant didn't end there. It took a dark turn, comparing Booker and former Suns head coach Frank Vogel to literal tyrants. The post read, "Two dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un." That kind of hyperbole stops you in your tracks. It is the type of viral chaos that grabs the sports world by the throat. Before we dive deeper into this mess, make sure to smash that like button if you live for NBA drama. Now, think about that line. "It is my team in defeat, but Booker's in victory." That doesn't sound like a random troll. It sounds like specific personal resentment. Even the group chats went silent because it felt like a confession from the man himself. Moving on to Kyrie Irving, KD's partner during the chaotic Brooklyn experiment. The account didn't mince words. He treats teammates like we owe him a debt. Short, brutal, and entirely consistent with the rumors that plagued that Nets locker room. A super team that collapsed despite rostering two of the most lethal offensive weapons the game has ever seen. Then we get to Russell Westbrook, Durant's original co-star from the Thunder era. The alleged insult here is instant legendary status, triple-double cocaine bear, 3 words that are equal parts hilarious and vicious. It is a nickname that perfectly encapsulates the decade-long criticism that Westbrook chased stats at the expense of winning basketball games. For years, analysts debated whether these two alpha dogs could actually coexist on a title contender. If these texts are real, Durant's private answer was always a hard no. According to this narrative, Chris Paul is clueless and Kyrie wasn't a threat. But that triple-double addict, Russell Westbrook, he was the problem. If you are enjoying this breakdown, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next update. The panelists reacting to these leaks were floored by the specific venom in that phrasing. It captures a sweeping frustration. This wasn't just beef with one guy. It felt like shots fired at literally everyone Durant has ever played with. One reactor said, "That might actually be him, bro." The triple-double addict? Who says that? It is the specificity of the insult that sells it. The audience ate it up because it feels authentic. It is the kind of thing you say behind closed doors. Real talk. You can't say that to my face. The core accusation that we are losing because you only care about your stat line is the deepest cut imaginable for a pro athlete. It attacks their priorities, not just their skill. Then there is the Steph Curry chapter. The man KD won back-to-back rings with. The account allegedly claimed, "I started holding Steph accountable in film sessions and they looked at me like I was crazy." If you don't set screens and pass up shots for Steph, you are getting cut. These words paint a picture of a system where Durant felt like an outsider in Curry's kingdom, a hierarchy he had to tolerate rather than lead, even while stacking up championships. The notion that Durant could hoist 2 Larry O'Brien trophies and still feel resentment about the locker room power dynamics reveals that this is about ego, respect, and the shadow politics of super teams. Here is the fascinating twist. Insiders suggest these sentiments weren't just on Twitter. They were floating around real NBA circles. That adds a layer of scary credibility to these screenshots, even if the source is anonymous. Now, we have to be fair, this isn't proof it was Kevin Durant typing. We have heard the denials. But the fact that the exact same complaints were whispered by different people in the league suggests the feelings were real, which makes these screenshots feel less like fan fiction and more like a leaked diary. Regarding Steve Kerr, the account went nuclear. Since MJ punched Kerr in the face, he doesn't mess with dark-skinned players. And Kerr hasn't drawn up one play. He is just a 3-time champ by luck. The first part introduces a heavy racial accusation that transcends basketball talk. The second part attacks his professional competence, claiming he rode the coattails of talent rather than having any tactical skill. Then there is James Harden, another stop on the KD tour. The assessment? Good, but slightly delusional. It is brief, backhanded, and strangely affectionate. It is exactly the type of mixed signal review that makes people believe these leaks are authentic. And finally, when discussing the rest of the Rockets roster, the account simply referred to them as crayon eaters. I mean, come on. That sounds exactly like something Kevin Durant would post at 3 in the morning. It seems like the curtain has been pulled back. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. That specific detail changes everything. Hardcore Durant watchers realized immediately that the rhythm, the dry wit, and the brutal honesty were a perfect match for his digital fingerprint. We can't look at the history of KD and his burner accounts in a bubble. Kevin Durant has a legendary, heavily recorded, and sometimes self-confessed addiction to operating in the shadows of social media. That track record is exactly why the Get Higher 77 rumors hit with such force, because we've seen this movie before. The smoking gun dropped back in 2017. Durant slipped up and replied from his official account, RKD Trey 5, but spoke in the third person while trying to justify his 2016 jump to the Golden State Warriors. He threw serious shade at the Oklahoma City Thunder management and Russell Westbrook. The only reason we saw it? He forgot to log out. That one mistake proved what everyone whispered about. KD was running covert ops to win arguments about his legacy, without the heavy crown of his verified status. But instead of denying it, Durant actually embraced the transparency. During a 2019 sit-down on The Boardroom Times with ESPN, he broke it down. I wasn't ready for that spotlight. I just wanted a space to chop it up with my guys without outsiders hijacking the conversation, twisting my words, or taking things the wrong way just for clicks. He actually flipped the script, framing the burners as something human, a survival tactic for a superstar suffocating under the microscope of being a global icon. And he kept it going. In 2020, he admitted he was still active on the low. Fast forward to 2023, when Meta dropped Threads, Durant literally posted, "On Threads with a burner, come find me." Every single one of these moves cemented a reputation that is now impossible to deny. The timeline paints a clear picture, from the accidental leak in 2017 to the confession in 2019, straight to the trolling in 2023. So, when the Get Higher 77 files dropped in February 2026, nobody in the NBA community doubted that Durant had secret profiles. The only mystery left was exactly what he was typing. That acceptance shows you just how normal this has become when we talk about KD. Now, let's look at the Agathyre 77 account. It fits the profile perfectly. Born around 2021, it stayed under the radar until the leaks hit. The header featured an owl, a direct callback to imagery Durant had used years prior on his main page. People inside those exclusive group chats reportedly treated the user like it was the Slim Reaper himself, because the slang and timing matched his style to a T. And the second those screenshots went viral, the account vanished, deleted. Now, all we have are the screen grabs flooding every sports timeline. Hey, if you're loving this deep dive into NBA conspiracies, make sure to like and subscribe. The timing here is crucial. 2021 puts us right in the middle of Durant's run with the Brooklyn Nets, an era defined by nagging injuries, the chaotic vibe with Kyrie Irving and James Harden, and the trade demand that eventually shook the entire league. If this account was birthed in that fire, the motive is obvious: a frustrated legend surrounded by drama, needing a vent that wouldn't end up on SportsCenter. The catch is, in 2026, digital secrets have a nasty habit of going public. So, the chat logs suggest this profile dates back to 2021. And honestly, it tracks. It actually makes too much sense. If the timeline holds up, the fallout touches every major move in the last few years of Durant's career, whether it was the Booker situation or just the sheer volume of problems happening in Brooklyn. And we know there were massive issues in Brooklyn, it all connects. That context turns these leaks into a history book. If the account really started in 2021, those archived messages would parallel the rockiest moments of his journey: the Brooklyn implosion, the trade to Phoenix, and the eventual jump to Houston. Every chapter likely came with private venting sessions that have now spilled into a public group chat. Durant's history with these alt accounts is the only reason these Agathier 77 leaks matter. They mirror the exact same raw, unfiltered energy we've seen from him for a decade. Whether you buy the allegations or think it's a hoax, the stage was set long before February 2026. But here is where it gets tricky. For every fan betting the house that this is KD, there's another pointing out the lack of hard proof. None of this is verified facts yet. That friction between it sounds like him and prove it's him is what keeps this debate raging. The Get Higher 77 profile rocks that owl header linked to old Durant gifs, but there is no digital fingerprint, no check mark, and no confession to lock it down. The screenshots floating around from these supposed chats haven't been forensically audited, leaving the door wide open for fakes or impersonators' risks that are always in play. Welcome to the wild west of social media, where clout is the currency and manipulation is just part of the daily grind. Leading the charge in Kevin Durant's defense was none other than streamer Neon, who wasted no time addressing the controversy live on air. Claiming to have a direct line to the Slim Reaper himself, Neon relayed a message straight from the source. It's not him. No way he pulls a move like that. He would never trash his own teammates, Neon insisted, doubling down. I know the guy personally, and that is simply not his style. That denial spread like wildfire across X and major sports networks, finally giving fans a narrative to rival the overwhelming suspicion. And honestly, the skeptics have a point, but so do the loyalists who point to KD's long-standing reputation as a baller who uplifts his squad. Look at the tape. He built championship chemistry with the Warriors and adapted seamlessly to heavy hitter rosters in Brooklyn and Phoenix. Coaches and peers alike have always hailed his insane work ethic and off-the-charts basketball IQ. We are talking about 2 NBA rings, 2 finals MVPs, and countless all-star nods playing right alongside the guys he supposedly roasted. Does that sound like a locker room cancer? Those credentials usually belong to a leader, not a saboteur destroying things from the inside out. This is a guy who clocks in, dominates, and elevates his team to the highest level, plain and simple. That massive gap between the superstar on the hardwood and the petty commenter in the group chat is exactly why this story has everyone spinning. But hold up, don't close the case just yet, because the evidence on the other side is piling up fast. How do you explain the breadcrumbs? There are just too many dots connecting for some fans to ignore. You have the me, we, us phrasing, the specific details, and that owl header photo matching an old tweet from 2021. Plus, the account locked down and went private the second the screenshot started trending. Suspicious? Maybe. Sure, one coincidence is just that, but stack them all up, and you have a pattern that millions of fans are finding hard to swallow. On the flip side, some folks are screaming setup, suggesting this entire drama is a calculated hit job. Could it be bitter rivals or resentful Warriors fans fabricating screenshots to drag his name through the mud? It is not impossible. Anyone can fake a profile, backdate some posts, and forge a chat log that looks legitimate to the naked eye. In a world where deepfakes and digital trickery are child's play, maintaining a healthy dose of skepticism isn't just smart, it is necessary. Remember, these screenshots haven't been vetted by any forensic experts yet. There is no IP match, no metadata, and zero proof linking that handle to any device owned by Durant. All we have right now is vibes, pattern, tone, and timing, which is enough for Twitter sleuths, but maybe not for a jury. The same clues used to convict him could just as easily prove a masterclass in impersonation. An owl picture is a simple copy-paste job, and mimicking someone's typing style isn't exactly rocket science. The ambiguity is part of the game. As of February 18th, 2026, neither Durant, the NBA, nor the Houston Rockets have dropped an official confirmation. No press releases, no podium moments, just Neon's word against the internet's detective work and a loud silence from those in the know. Before we get into the chemistry killer, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat on this story. Whether it is really KD or a sophisticated troll, the fallout is dangerous, and that is the real nightmare for Houston fans. The Rockets hit the All-Star break sitting pretty at 33-20, holding the 4th seed out west with a killer home record of 18-7. This squad is built on the backs of its young stars, specifically Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Sengun. They're legitimate contenders who need their veteran icon to be a mentor, not a shadow critic lurking in the comments section. The shots taken at Smith Jr. are especially brutal when you consider the context. Here is a young gun who has spent years idolizing Durant, only to wake up to this mess. Seeing your hero allegedly call you mentally weak or worse is the kind of thing that leaves a scar, fake or not. One user on X nailed it. Jabari Smith Jr. is the real victim of these Kevin Durant burner leaks. It hits hard. You have to feel for the team chemistry right now. I am trying to keep it professional, but it is messy. Honestly, I just hope Jabari isn't taking it to heart. That is the only thing that really matters here. That empathy for the rookie is sweeping the fan base. And if you are feeling that vibe too, make sure to subscribe and join the conversation in the comments. Then there is the Sengun situation, which is just as heavy since he was named a 2026 All-Star right alongside Durant. They were literally teammates for the exhibition, supposed to be high-fiving and celebrating their elite status. Instead, imagine checking your phone during All-Star weekend and seeing reports that your teammate thinks you can't shoot or defend. The cognitive dissonance there is off the charts. How are you supposed to dap up a guy on the national stage when the entire internet claims he doesn't respect your game? Rumor has it, KD actually said he'd rather be balling out for the Charlotte Hornets. If that's true, it screams he wants out of H-Town immediately, considering Charlotte isn't exactly a hotspot for superstars. That specific tidbit, more than anything else in these leaks, shows he's fed up way beyond just basketball schemes. And folks, that sums up the entire vibe perfectly. Look, if you've got beef with a guy, you squash it man to man. That is locker room 101 on how things should operate. Now, talking about his legacy is tricky, but you can't just brush it off. Before we dive deeper, smash that like button. Analysts are saying KD went from the top of the world with the Warriors dynasty to supposedly roasting rookies on secret accounts in Houston. You bet this drama impacts his standing. The man is a two-time champ, two-time finals MVP, 15-time All-Star, and literally one of the deadliest buckets in NBA history. His on-court stats are bulletproof, but his online history, that's a whole different story. That seems to tail him everywhere he goes from one franchise to the next. Some people are connecting the dots, claiming all this off-court drama is chipping away at his greatness. But others argue that whatever a 37-year-old vet types in a private chat doesn't change the fact he can drop 30 on your head any night. Honestly, both sides make valid arguments, and the debate is heating up. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Now, we gotta talk about the comedy aspect, because the internet went wild. Media outlets called the posts mean-spirited but undeniably funny, labeling them the best jokes of the year, turning serious drama into prime entertainment right next to the NBA's actual mid-season festivities. That triple-double cocaine bear nickname for Russ, instant legendary meme status, and calling the squad crayon eaters? People were selling shirts with that slogan within 24 hours. Plus, that clip of K glued to his phone during All-Star Weekend became the perfect punchline. Picture it, a megastar supposedly watching his secrets spill out live while sitting front row at the league's biggest bash. And, that might be the realest takeaway here. KD is just a normal guy with god-level hoop skills and a very common urge to vent when he's annoyed. Pros live under a microscope constantly. But the need to blow off steam doesn't go away. When that stuff leaks out, even if it's just rumors, it turns into viral gold because it makes these giants feel human. And that is the point you really need to think about, because whether that Yagathire77 account is actually KD or not, how we all reacted says a lot about us as fans. We scream for authenticity. We demand honesty. But the second that honesty gets too raw, too unfiltered, and targets actual people, we flinch. We crack jokes, we make memes, we argue, but deep down, it feels weird seeing the unfiltered mind of an idol. The boundary between being relatable and being controversial is razor thin. And in 2026, when any group chat is one screenshot away from breaking the internet, this isn't just a Kevin Durant problem. It's for every pro athlete, every celeb, and honestly, anyone with a smartphone and a hot take they thought was safe. This whole conversation shows just how obsessed we are with athlete storylines keeping the buzz alive way past the All-Star break. With the Rockets returning to action, boasting a 33-20 record and a locker room full of kids who definitely saw those tweets, the big mystery is what goes down next in the locker room, on the hardwood, and on whatever burner account K-Buddy-O might be scrolling on tonight. That is a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to check out the videos popping up on your screen right now. Catch you later.